Hello and welcome back to part 3 of the video tour of LoanSaver. In this segment we're going to be looking at some success stories. Specifically, we're going to look at 4 different stories from a variety of credit unions of different sizes, different locations, and different marketing approaches. The first story is in the Credit Union Times. This is a feature story we enjoyed a little while back about a DC area credit union, Congressional Federal, who was one of our early big success stories with LoanSaver. And in their case, they have $690 million in assets and about 44,000 members at the time. And they have a footprint nationwide, but they obviously serve members of Congress as their primary seg. And the interesting story here is that Congressional kind of set the blueprint, if you will, for how to successfully promote LoanSaver online. And the way they did it was they set up a dedicated landing page, as you can see in the screenshot there, and we'll zoom in a little bit. And they fed that landing page with traffic from a variety of marketing channels, direct emails, newsletter placement, statement inserts, posters, that kind of thing, where they would use multiple channels to get the message out to the members. The message was, Congressional Federal will save you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on your loans. Come find out how. And that's really the kicker, is telling members you're going to save them money and then challenge them to come and find out how much they will be saving. So you're really getting them in there, getting them to do the calculations. Now in the case of Congressional Federal, they were able, in the first 8 weeks of running LoanSaver on their site, they were able to exceed $1 million in new loans generated. So that's new finance loans that came in directly through LoanSaver. And I like to point that out because it's an important distinction. There will be lift, as we discussed earlier, from people using this tool as a research tool, as a sort of a kicking the tires sales research online experience, which will then go through other channels to get the loan. They'll show up in the branch, they'll be on the phones, they'll apply online. We may not necessarily capture them directly, but in the case of these stories, what we're looking at is $1 million here from Congressional that was captured directly through leads captured through LoanSaver. Now, the interesting footnote to that is that $1 million was a 16% increase in their historic loan volume. So comparing the loan volume overall to the same period the previous year, this initiative increased them by 16%. So that's a pretty significant success story. And the average savings per member was calculated at $2,400. So you can imagine being able to go back to the member base and say, hey, we've saved members over $500,000 so far, and the average member saves $3,000, and come check it out. Maybe we can save you a few thousand as well. So that worked very well for them. Let me show you what it looked like for them. We've got a blow up here of their screenshot of their landing page, if you will. And again, this is a screenshot, and the intention here is to show you that this lives within your website. In this case, Congressional set up the Great Loan Makeover campaign. So it was a branded campaign. The marketing messages and the landing page corresponded with their language and their coloring and their imagery and so forth. The copy is all theirs, but the centerpiece of the experience was the loan savings calculator. LoanSaver would walk the member through, starting in this case with the auto loans, which were their focus, and then walking the member through personal loans, HELOCs, credit cards, and others. And again, the idea is to get them into this page from all your different marketing channels, your emails, your in-branch conversations, and then let LoanSaver deliver on that promise of the member finding out how much they might save, capture this hot, highly qualified lead, and connect them with your sales team for a nice in-depth member service discussion. So that really set the stage for how to market LoanSaver, and it's worked very well. Now, a lot of times I hear, yeah, but Congressional is a fairly large credit union. What about my smaller credit union? So I like to follow this story up with another story that appeared in the Credit Union Times with a much smaller client of ours, First Eagle Federal. They're in Maryland, and they only have 10,000 members. It's $76 million in assets. So they're less than a quarter the size of Congressional Federal. And in their case, their kickoff campaign lasted around, I think, 3 months. And in that time, they were able to generate almost $700,000 in new finance loans through LoanSaver. And again, this is directly captured leads through the system. In their case, they took it a little bit more relaxed approach to their marketing. It was primarily, I think, a statement insert and a web banner, and it was something that they would promote quarterly, not all the time, just periodically hit it with marketing and then allow it to just run on the website as an ongoing lead generation system. Now in their case, they're smaller, but they were able to pull off a comparable growth, a comparable total volume of loans. And in their case, their average savings per member was calculated to be about $1,400. The average loan size was about $12,000 compared to about $15,000 for Congressional. And their mix was primarily auto loans, personal loans, and credit card balance transfers. So it worked quite well for them, continues to work as an ongoing lead generation system on their website that they market periodically. So we've gone from a very large credit union to a very small credit union. Now let me show you a couple more recent success stories. We'll stay on the small side. This is NARF Premier in Alexandria, Virginia. In this case, this is an interesting story because they've got very high ROI, and they've done that by using very low-cost marketing approach, primarily website banner ads and direct emails to the members. So this is a very important thing to take a look at. We have found that email marketing is very effective, particularly if you take it in a repeated touch scenario and a new member onboarding scenario. So you want to get this message out to members multiple times, let them get the idea, link them into the tool, and secondarily you want to really outreach to your new members. Email is a very inexpensive way to do that. There's other ways to do it, but that onboarding process is directly taking this message to new members who have all their relationships elsewhere. So now you're talking to somebody that's almost guaranteed to be able to save money with you by moving their loans, their multiple loans, to the credit union as part of their onboarding process. You get them in there with one account, and next thing you know, you've got them with multiple loans. Very effective. NARF Premier has, in this story, they were talking about the first 6 months of using the tool, and as you can see, over 4.5% of the site visitors became a high qualified lead. So that's extremely good numbers. And 30% of those leads wound up financing one or more loans. So the flow that we talked about in the previous video, looking at the conversion of a viewer to a user to a calculator to a fully captured lead, really worked well for NARF, even using inexpensive outreach. At the time that the story came out, they had already brought in over $400,000 in new finance loans. Average loan size was almost $15,000, and again, that was a 227% ROI. So extremely effective for them. NARF's another small one. They've got 10,000 members and 150 million in assets. So the story is available online on our website. Let's go with one more. Go back to a very large credit union, Fort Knox Federal Credit Union. They have over $800,000 in loan balances transferred at the time of this story. Since that story came out, they have now well exceeded 1.25 million in loans recaptured directly through LoanSaver leads. And again, this is directly through LoanSaver leads, so there's going to be other lift coming out of the system. Now, the interesting thing about the Fort Knox story is that when you go to the Fort Knox website, you can't really find it very easily. They're not heavily promoting this system on their website at all. You can find it if you search in the little search engine. And when we heard that they were doing so well, we wanted to know, well, how are you doing so well? You're not promoting it like we would hope that you would. It turns out that they are promoting it, but they're doing it almost exclusively as an in-branch conversation tool. So this is a different approach, using LoanSaver as a tool for your sales staff to really empower them, whether it be in the branch, at community outreach events, at SEG coffee table meetings, that kind of thing, taking a laptop, taking an iPad, turning the monitor around, whatever it is, talking to this member or potential member and saying, hey, let's see, take 5 minutes and see if we can't save you $5,000. Now suddenly your sales staff is empowered with this capability of doing this savings analysis rather than jumping around to 5 different generic calculators and writing down the numbers and using a spreadsheet and all that stuff. We've really empowered the sales team with this streamlined process to educate the member, let them know the real value proposition here, let them know one of the many benefits of becoming a credit union member and moving your loans there. So that's another highly recommended approach to LoanSaver marketing, and that is to use this as a conversational tool. So in summary, we've had quite a lot of success across a wide range of credit unions. Direct marketing through multiple channels is very effective, using LoanSaver as the endpoint. Community outreach, seg outreach, these are all very effective ways of getting your loan savings, your superior rates in front of members and potential members. New member onboarding is very powerful, especially when you do it inexpensively, as in repeated emails, because those people have all their loans elsewhere, so they're very fertile ground for marketing your great rates and services. And finally, in-branch conversations and event conversations are extremely effective as well. And all of this has been proven out by our credit unions. So we hope that you will give LoanSaver a try, make it a primary part of your loan marketing mix, and support it with marketing. And hopefully we'll be bragging about you in the trades sometime real soon.